Chapter 18. Sequel of the mystery of the conception of the Most Holy Mary, as described in the second part of the 21st chapter of the Apocalypse. The further wording of the 21st chapter of the Apocalypse is as follows. 9. And there came one of the 7 angels, who had the vials full of the 7 last plagues, and spoke with me, saying, Come, and I will show thee the bride, the wife of the Lamb. 10. And he took me up in spirit to a great and high mountain, and he showed me the holy city Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God. 11. Having the glory of God, and the light thereof was like to a precious stone, as to the jasper stone, even as crystal. 12. And it had a great wall and high, having 12 gates, and in the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. 13. On the east 3 gates, and on the north 3 gates, and on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. 14. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the 12 names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. 15. And he that spoke with me had a measure of reed, of gold, to measure the city and the gates thereof, and the wall. 16. And the city lieth in a 4 square, and the length thereof is as great as the breadth. And he measured the city with the golden reed for 12,000 furlongs. And the length and the height and the breadth thereof are equal. 17. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, the measure of a man, which is of an angel. 18. And the buildings of the wall thereof was of jasper stone, but the city itself pure gold, like to pure glass. The angels of which the evangelist speaks in this place are 7 of those who attend in a special manner at the throne of God, and who have received commission and power to punish some of the sins of men. This vengeance of the wrath of the Omnipotent will happen in the last ages of the world, but it shall be a new punishment, greater than which neither before nor after is possible during mortal existence. But since these mysteries are deeply hidden, and since not all have been revealed to me, nor concern this history, I do not consider it proper to expatiate upon them, but I will pass on to what more closely concerns my task. This angel of which St. John speaks is the one through whom God will avenge with an especial and dreadful chastisement the injuries committed against his most holy mother, for the insane daring with which they have despised her has roused the indignation of his omnipotence. As the most holy Trinity has pledged itself to honor and exalt this Queen of Heaven above all human creatures and above the angels, placing her in this world as the mirror of the divinity and as the special mediatrix of mortals, God has taken it in a particular manner upon himself to avenge the heresies, errors, outrages, and all injuries committed against her, since thereby men have not glorified, acknowledged, and adored him in this tabernacle, and have not made use of this incomparable mercy. These punishments are prophesied to the Holy Church. Although the mysterious words of the Apocalypse enshroud in obscurity the rigor of this punishment, yet woe to the unhappy ones that shall be overtaken by it. Woe to me, who have offended a God so strong and powerful to chastise. I am overwhelmed in the expectation of the great calamity here threatened. The angel spoke to the evangelist, saying, Come, and I will show thee the bride, the wife of the Lamb, etc. The angel declares in this passage that the holy city of Jerusalem, which he showed to him, is the espoused wife of the Lamb, referring by this metaphor, as I have already said, number 248, to the Most Holy Mary, whom St. John saw both as a mother or woman and as a spouse of the Lamb, that is Christ. The Queen held and fulfilled in divine manner both offices. She was the spouse of the divinity, the only one, and incomparable on account of the unequaled faith and love with which the espousals were entered into and accomplished. And she was the mother of the same Lord incarnate, giving him his mortal substance and flesh, nourishing and sustaining him in his existence as man, which he derived from her. In order to see and understand such high mysteries, the evangelist was exalted in spirit to a great height of sanctity and light, for without going out of himself and being raised above human weakness, he could not understand them, just as we, imperfect, earthly, and abject creatures, cannot encompass them for the same reason. Then elevated thus high, he says, He showed me the holy city of Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven. For Mary was built up and formed, not on earth, where she was like a pilgrim and a stranger, but in heaven, where the common earthly material was excluded. For though the material of her being was taken from the earth, it was at the same time so elevated in heavenly perfection as to be fit for the building up of that mystical city in a celestial and angelic, yea, divine manner, effulgent with the divinity. Therefore he adds, having the glory of God. For the most holy soul of Mary was favored with such a participation of the divinity and of its attributes and perfections, that if it were possible to see her in her own essence, she would appear as if illumined with the eternal splendor of God himself. Great and glorious things are said in the Catholic Church of the city of God, and of the splendor which she has received from that same Lord. But all of it is insignificant, and all human words fall short of the truth. The created intellect, entirely overcome, can but assert that the most holy Mary partakes of the divinity more than can be comprehended, confessing thereby the substance of the reality as well as the incapability of the mind to express in a proper manner that which it wishes to confess. She is formed in the heavens, and only the artificer who formed her is able to comprehend her greatness. He alone can estimate her origin and the affinity which he contracted with most holy Mary by perfecting her gifts to a semblance of the attributes of his infinite greatness and divinity.